As you know, this is the popular time of year for backyard barbecues, for picnics, for pool parties, and we all love to do those things, but unfortunately, those same activities that give us such pleasure can also result in accidents and injuries and illnesses when families don't remember to play it safe. And that's why we're wanting to really present this message to you today, to really demonstrate why it's so important. And of course, we picked a great day for that, right? We've got very high temperatures. We're certainly trying to let everyone know how to stay safe in this kind of summer heat. So it's really important that we share this message today, and we appreciate the coverage. And I think you'd all agree that when you talk about backyard barbecues and patio parties, I mean, it usually starts with the food. And so I'm going to turn it over to Ann Applegate, who's director of our Food and Consumer Protection Division, to talk a little bit about safe food preparation and food safety when you're doing these type of events. Ann?
All right, John, thank you. One of the most important things that you want to remember when you're cooking foods on the grill, such as our turkey brats that we've got here and hamburgers, is to make sure that your food gets to the proper internal temperature when you cook it. Jason, what kind of temperature do we need to reach on these brats and the burgers in order for them to be considered done?
Well, the turkey brats need 165.
Are we there yet?
And we are definitely there.
Fantastic.
And then on the hamburgers, 155.
Wonderful.
And it's there too. We're
Wonderful. Dealing with any type of raw food, it's very important to make sure you wash your hands thoroughly afterwards. Hand washing is the #1 thing that we can do to keep ourselves safe and to make sure that we're keeping the food safe as well. Another thing that we've got over here is making sure that our cold food stays cold and our hot food stays hot. Things like potato salad, pasta salad, the fruit salad with the cut melon, these are all potentially hazardous foods, which means that they can harbor bacteria and grow bacteria. We're using an inflatable device here filled with ice to keep our potato salad and our pasta salad and our fruit salad nice and cold so that it maintains proper temperature and doesn't grow any bacteria. And over here, you can't have a barbecue without my mom's famous baked beans. So we're keeping them hot over here in a crock pot to make sure that our hot food stays hot. Well, Stacy, I talked about how to keep the food safe. Do you have any tips on how to keep the grill safe, on grill safety?
As a matter of fact, we do. The Fort Wayne Fire Department is joined here by Captain Dave Meadows from our Fire Prevention Bureau and Assistant Chief Jim Marua. They'll be talking to you a little bit more about what to do with the grill.
I think that the #1 most important thing with the grill, because of the heat, is being careful when you're around it, making sure the children stay away from it, have an area where the kids are not to be allowed in. We're in good shape here. We're away from the building. We're not underneath a patio or any kind of overhang, so we don't have to worry about anything above us catching on fire. Also, got good tools here, long handle tools, keep you away from where the flame's at, oven mitts to help keep yourself from getting burned, and obviously monitoring what's going on. Don't throw something on the grill and head into the house and forget about it, start watching, whatever on TV and kind of forget about it. Next thing you know, you got a big flame going out here. And first thing everybody does is grab a little squirt water bottle and start squirting all over it. Now we have a problem. So monitor it just like cooking inside the house. You want to monitor it the whole time, making sure things are under control. And like was already talked about, make sure that the food is cooked to the appropriate temperature so that you're not causing other problems besides what could happen with a fire situation. We also have charcoal grills. Some people prefer to use charcoal, and nothing wrong with that, but the same rules apply. With the charcoal grill, we encourage, with any grill, but especially the charcoal grill, we encourage some kind of mat underneath it to help protect the surface that you're in. We're on a good surface here. We don't want to be doing it out in the yard, especially now with all the dryness. The grass is extremely dry. It can catch on fire very, very quickly. So the main thing comes down to just common sense.
Once again, as Captain Meadows stated, make sure it's on a stable area so the grill doesn't tip over. You don't have the hot charcoals fall into the grass, catch the grass on fire. Make sure that we keep our children away from it, pets away from it also. When we're hooking up our LP gas, make sure that we hook it up correctly so that we don't have any leaking around the connections of it. Want to check that. You can spray it with some soapy water to see if you have any leaks. It'll bubble up that way. So just do those kinds of things, very cognizant of where you're at, as Captain Meadows stated, with your home in regards to the overhangs, that type of thing.
Well, thanks guys, we appreciate that safety message. And another thing that's really important, especially in this kind of heat, is sun safety and And it's really important that if you're going to be outside for any extended period of time that you use sunscreen. And obviously using a sunscreen with at least a 15 SPF is really important. Make sure it has UVA and UVB protection. As you can see back here, Alicia is screening up a couple children here who are playing in our pool, making sure that they're well covered so that if they're going to be out in this direct heat and direct sunlight, that they have sunscreen on. Another important thing to do is if you're going to be out wearing light colored clothing, things that breathe easily, make sure that you do stay in shade if you can. We have some umbrellas here where we can keep out of the direct sun, stay under the shade when you're going to be out for an extended period of time. And monitor yourself to make sure that you're staying well hydrated. As you can see, our folks out here who are playing cornhole, they're going to need to take water breaks very frequently to make sure that they get water, and we have a nice big cooler up back here with water, so everyone who's out doing any kind of activity in the sun is staying well hydrated to make sure that you don't fall susceptible to heat-related illnesses, which can be very, very easy to do in this kind of heat. So it's really important that people practice those sun safety tips. If you're going to be around bodies of water like we are here, as you can tell with the kiddie pool, it's important that someone be watching at all times. Even though it's just a little pool, it's important that there be an adult supervising at all times if children are going to be in the water. We also have a couple of life jackets there. If the kids are going to get any closer than they are to the pond, you want to make sure that they have a life jacket so that they are safe. They're even observing the swim with a buddy system here as the two girls are together. So all those things are important if you're talking about pool and water safety, making sure that you follow those rules. And one more thing we want to hit on, because anytime you talk about summer, you got to talk about mosquitoes. And although we've been lucky so far this season with our mosquito population, you never know when the bugs are going to start biting again. So Dave Feast, who's head of our Vector Control and Environmental Services, is going to talk a little bit about mosquito protection as well. Dave?
Well, as John stated, even with this dry weather that we're having, not a lot of water out in the ditches, the low areas, even the swamps and marshes are pretty dry. But there are containers around the homes that can hold water and breed mosquitoes, such as bird baths, buckets, tires. So we're asking the public, even though they may not be seeing any mosquitoes out there or a large amount of water, if they have a bird bath, we're asking that bird baths be flushed out once a week. If they have any kind of tires or containers, put them in a garage or dispose of them properly. Mosquitoes only need about 1/4 of an inch of water to go through their life cycle. So again, even though it's as dry as it has been, there's not a lot of insects out there. If there is a little bit of water, there could still be some mosquito breeding. And because of that mosquito breeding, if there is any, whenever you're out and about and you're noticing that there are mosquitoes flying around, even during the day, it's a good idea to wear some type of bug repellent. And as one of my employees here, he's going to show, there's 3 different types of bug repellents out there. Ones that contain DEET, picardin, and oil of lemon eucalyptus. All 3 of those ingredients are good for mosquito repellency. So again, if the mosquitoes are out flying around, good idea to wear some type of bug spray.
Well, thanks, Dave. I think we hit on a lot of the major topics of summer safety. We appreciate you guys being out here today to cover our Safe Summer Picnic. Feel free to stick around. We'll be available to answer any more questions that you have, to do any additional interviews you'd like. And we've got some good food, so feel free to stick around and eat as well. Grab some water if you need to. And again, we appreciate you coming. I want to thank everyone that was involved in helping put this together, particularly Steve and Vicki Williams, who lent us their space today to let us host this party. We appreciate that. Appreciate the folks from the Department of Health that were available, and our folks from the fire department. I want to thank them for being here, particularly Stacy Fleming, Captain Dave Meadows, and Jim Marua, who are all here to talk about their fire safety message. So again, feel free to stick around. Let us know if we can help you with any other information that you need, and we appreciate you coming today.